Hey folks, Martin Vaver here, Galaxy Sailor Productions. Another episode for you this week. Before I start off though, I want to tell you about a new project that just came out. It's called Hail to the King, 60 Years of Destruction. It's all about the last 60 years of Godzilla and its influences on the social aspects of Japan. My buddy Kyle Yount, who is the owner and operator of Kaiju Cast, you can check that out at kaijucast.com. Big time Godzilla fan, traveled over to Japan, interviewed a whole bunch of folks who know all about Godzilla. He got some of the original actors from the Heisei series, Godzilla films. He got to interview a guy who's done independent kaiju tokusatsu films, some folks who actually create real tokusatsu Godzilla suits and Gamera. He got to interview fans, he got to see toy expos, and he got to see the Toho exhibit that they had created for the 60th anniversary of Godzilla. I would really love for you all to check it out. Go to kaijucast.com and you can find out more about Kyle and the podcast that he does at least twice a month. You can find out more about the film there, and you can also check it out on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube simply by going into and looking for Hail to the King, 60 Years of Destruction. I hope you guys check it out and enjoy it. If you do, pass it on to other folks. We'd love more people to watch the film. I'm trying to get it out to film festivals right now. We're hoping to be able to do more things on the subject of Godzilla, kaiju films, and tokusatsu in the future. So this week's episode is about your attitude on a film set and how you approach other people, specifically the person who probably hired you on a set. A few years ago, I had an opportunity to be able to go and shoot something, and I needed a couple of extra camera guys, and I needed an audio guy, and I needed a PA. So I had reached out to a series of people to fill in my positions on the set, and I had a bunch of my regulars that couldn't make it into one of the positions. So I contacted a guy that I had worked with. Now, I'd never worked with him on my own set, only on other people's sets. So I called him up, offered him the job, told him how much the rate was going to be for the day, and he accepted. So on the day of the shoot, we all meet up at the rally point. We're waiting for our contact to show up, and he and I get to talking about what we've been doing for the last couple of years. Toward the end of that discussion, he happens to drop how I am not paying him his normal day rate and that he usually doesn't accept these jobs. Now, to be honest, I didn't really know how to accept that, and I kind of played it off a little bit and said, well, I hope to get more work in the future and be able to pay you what you are normally worth. Now, really, what's going to happen is I probably won't call this guy back again. His work is exceptional, and I have no problem with that. The problem I have is with his attitude. I was constrained by the budget, and I was only able to pay so much money. So when I offered him the position and told him what the day was going to involve, he accepted it. Now, I understand if, after the fact, I ended up putting you through an arduous day. It was longer. You had to do a lot of things you weren't planning on. There were more mics needed, more people that needed to be interviewed, whatever. If I didn't live up to my obligations, you absolutely have the right to not only say something to me, but to demand more money. But if the day meets your obligations that you accepted, that becomes your issue. And to complain about that even before the day even gets started signals to me that you don't have a very good attitude about things. If you have a day rate that you're accustomed to and you don't want to take a lower rate, then don't take a lower rate. It's that simple. Just don't accept those jobs. Clearly, he didn't have anything else going on that day, so he was able to take my job. And if he wanted a better rate, he could have held out for a better rate or asked me to pay him a higher rate. Quite frankly, I was paying as much as I possibly could. It wasn't a very good budget. I was doing all I could with the constraints that were given to me. So if he wasn't happy with the offer, all he had to do was not accept it. And that's what I am telling you. If you don't like the offer, don't accept it. Once you do accept something, though, that becomes your responsibility. You have now taken on the task of saying, this is the job that I am going to do, this is the amount of money I'm going to do it for, and my day is going to consist of all of the following attributes. That's just the way it is. To come back later after accepting the job, but before you even did the job and complain about the rate not being good enough, is really kind of your issue. And I think it speaks volumes to the type of person that you're going to be on set. So by all means, set your boundaries, accept your boundaries, and always tell people what your boundaries are, whether it's the amount of money, the amount of hours, the type of work that you're going to do, but set those boundaries and then keep them. So just be certain that when you set boundaries, you make those expectations fall upon yourself before you do for other people. And if you don't express those boundaries, you can't possibly expect people to live up to them. Thank you so very much for coming to this episode. Hopefully you guys will check out the next one. Make sure you see all the stuff down below for the Twitters and the Facebook and the website and such. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. I would love to have people on this set, as I say, from week to week, and hopefully someone will finally take me up on it. Have a good one, and I hope to catch you on the next episode.